I failed. I made it through all 75 days of 75 hard, and I almost made it all the way through the 30 days of phase one. And I failed on day 24. This Mercury retrograde sucks. Welcome to the Fire Within podcast, helping you to be yourself and find your purpose. My name is Carrie Jokala. I am your host. I am a Reiki master teacher, a fitness instructor, a wife, a mom to 2 little boys, and this is episode 226, but it is only the second face-to-camera YouTube video version of the podcast. So if you're watching on YouTube, welcome. Thank you for being here. If you are on the audio feed, also thank you for being here, especially if you've been here from the beginning. We're going to talk just a little bit about Mercury Retrograde, which is really hard to say. Why is it so hard to say Mercury Retrograde? There's too many R sounds. And a little bit about my 75 hard journey. I started 75 hard for at least the third real attempt on January 1st of this year. And I've talked about it in past episodes, so I'm not going to go a whole bunch into that part of the journey, but it really wasn't terribly hard. But I also have a bit of an advantage because I'm a fitness instructor. I already work out. It wasn't too hard to get an extra outdoor workout in. Usually I just went for a walk. But there were some days where it would take me all day to get all of the tasks done. It's not that they were hard to do, it's just that getting them in, fitting them in, would get hard on certain days depending on what was going on, if the schedule was different, if I didn't have my normal routine that I was able to stick to. But overall, it was not that bad. And I learned patience pretty quickly. I definitely developed a lot more self-accountability, mental toughness, because it's a mental toughness challenge, not a fitness challenge. And while I'm not physically at the point I would like to be at yet, I definitely finally got the needle moving after a couple years of trying and not really getting anywhere. But the needle's moving. I'm a lot more disciplined than I was, and taking a little bit more action, obviously, because here we go on YouTube. And I figured if I can make it through 75 days and not really risk failure, 30 days shouldn't be that hard for phase one. Now, granted, you have to add some pretty challenging things to phase one, but I figured I can make it. I failed on day one, so I had to start over the very next day. But since then, I was doing just fine until day 24. And everything just kind of fell apart. And I decided not to go back to day one right away. I think I'll save that for later. Now, I believe in collective energy. I believe that we will all feel shifts in the energy, regardless of whether or not we're actively believing in it or looking for it. But I don't necessarily always attribute things to Mercury retrograde unless I'm kind of joking about it, like, oh, is Mercury in retrograde? But this one, like, I'm not an astrologer. I don't know much about the signs and the stars and the planets and all of that, but I know that this one is pretty rough. And a lot of the people that I talk to, things that I see in other people's stories on Instagram, we're feeling this one. So did I fail phase one of 75 hard, Live Hard program because of Mercury retrograde? Who knows? But I did start the Joy Project on the same day that Mercury retrograde started. I found a random nail in my tire, and I can't tell you the last time I found a nail in my tire. It couldn't be patched. We had to buy a new one. And my massage got canceled for the third time since February. I have yet to get in, and this is not something I do often, so I'm not complaining like, oh, I didn't get my massage. But no, This is not something I get to do often. So I really, really was looking forward to getting some of these knots out of my back. And it just keeps getting canceled outside of my control. I'm not the one canceling it. But here we are. But I feel the energy lifting. At least that's how it feels for me. Like maybe even though it's not technically over, I guess, until the 25th, I feel like things are starting to lighten up. Like we're kind of making our way through it. So to me, that means we're going through whatever we're going through because it's prepping us for the next chapter, for a new beginning, for a fresh start, fresh energy. And I don't know about you, but I feel like it's already making its way in, which I think is part of the reason why, number one, even though I failed phase one, I don't feel like a failure. Like I know I technically failed the program, but I have achieved much of the results that I was looking to achieve, getting better at holding myself accountable, doing the things that I say I'm going to do when I say I'm going to do them by on top of it, instead of waiting a month or two to get to something. And overall, just feeling better ready to take action. So if I'm honest, while I'm really, really happy that I did the program, would highly recommend it if you're feeling led towards doing it, if you know that you need the kinds of results that it's going to give you, not just physical results, but mental and emotional and maybe even spiritual results. I'm not sure when or if I'm going to restart phase one because I was really, really looking forward to being done. And here's the thing with being done. Once you are almost 105 days into doing multiple tasks that have now become a habit, because I think it takes much longer than 21 days to really cement a habit in. I had a couple of days after I failed where I didn't push myself to get to a full gallon of water. I definitely wasn't making sure that I was still getting the outdoor workout in, but pretty much everything else stayed on track. And I have found myself unconsciously still making sure I get all my water in. Before, when it was for the program and I had to track it and enter into the tracker so I could post my, success day on Instagram and then get to the next day's tracker, I was rigorously counting and making sure that I got every ounce in, because if you miss 1 ounce, you fail for the day. So you have to make sure you get every last bit in. And even just yesterday, I realized that without intentionally counting and trying, I made it to a gallon of water. Because it's just become a habit. I think my body's gotten used to it. I was drinking because I was thirsty, not because I was trying to fit in a certain amount of water. But I also feel more relaxed about it, and I think that's part of it. I was looking forward to having the freedom of some extra time to maybe put my focus elsewhere versus trying to fit in another 45-minute outdoor workout, which on the days when it got really hard could turn into an hour and a half or so of trying to get 45 minutes worth of a workout done. Hashtag mom life. So it wasn't that I was looking forward to stopping everything. It was just that I was looking forward to not having to track and be so rigorous about everything. Because it definitely feels weird if I'm not drinking enough water. If I don't do at least a minute or two of a cold shower. I don't know that I'm still going to do 5 minutes, but who knows? As I say that, I'm like, maybe I still will. Because I found tricks to help get myself through the 5 minutes without making it feel like it was taking forever. For example, either going through in my head or actually playing a song that I really like from the Bare Naked Ladies that is just about 5 minutes long that I enjoy listening to. So it was an easy way to distract myself from the passing time. But I think that's the whole point of combining this conversation about Mercury Retrograde and dealing with this heavy, intense energy and everything feeling like it's falling apart, and 75 hard. I believe we have to go through the hard things. It sucks. It sucks really bad sometimes to have to go through certain things. But I know this sounds cheesy, and this is the answer that a lot of people give, but really this is how we grow. This is how we figure out who we really are. This is how we learn how to be ourselves and release the things that are no longer serving us. The versions of us that helped us get to where we are but are no longer serving us. It's time to move on and be the next level version of ourselves. We don't figure that out unless we're actively doing something about it and dealing with all of the crap. So I wanted to end with a quick, brief card reading just to see what do we need to do, what do we need to know as we get through these last few days of Mercury retrograde. And again, I'm not an astrologer, but I hear there's something called like a post-shadow period or something like that, so we could still be dealing with the effects for even a couple more weeks, so yay. But I'm leaning into the Joy Project, which is just me trying to add more joy back into my life, doing things that make me smile, that make me laugh, that will hopefully make you laugh or smile, or even just something inspiring, something to motivate myself and then hopefully also motivate you. So I'm using my Quantum Oracle. Okay, so I've got 3 cards and I'm feeling like it's a past, present, future. We got True Love reversed. So this says, when you receive this card reversed, it's warning about a serious split in your self-love and magnetic energy. Your inability to see yourself and your worth is clearly blocking the love, success, and happiness you so deeply desire. In this position, the card may reveal sad feelings of continued loneliness, even if you are in a relationship. It could also indicate a romantic separation or even a job upheaval. These difficulties can all be turned around. However, when you finally make the choice to let go of the self-criticism and doubt, instead of hating what you see in the mirror, perceive your eternal and beautiful truth. Stop criticizing yourself and start to encourage yourself the way you'd like a loved one to. One of the most powerful ways to start is to look at yourself in the mirror and affirm, I love you, I believe in you, I will always take care of you. If you want to hear such things from another, it must first begin with you. And I think that's actually a perfect testament to doing something like 75 Hard. Even if you don't do that exact program, just doing something to show yourself how resilient you are, how amazing you are, how creative you are, getting you motivated again to start taking action, getting you to like who you are again, to like the way you look, to like the way you feel. Okay. Then the next card is Dark Thoughts, probably relating to Mercury retrograde. A man moves into a dark maze. It's confusing and frightening with paths that lead to shadowy, unknown results. Receiving this card upright is a warning about the potential dark shadows within your inner and outer life. So maybe whatever's coming up in your current Mercury retrograde energy that you're dealing with. This card may be a signal that you could be drawn into questionable activities, perhaps with unsavory people. Look closely at any new endeavors in your life and at the people with whom you connect. Investigate your choices, turn to your intuition to determine if they truly honor you, and if each endeavor truly resonates with your heart. The most important dark alleys you should be aware of at this time, however, are the twisting patterns of negative thoughts or unhealthy habits winding through your daily life. Worrisome thinking or escapist behavior may be lifelong habits, but it's time for you to take control. What was I just saying? Manage your negative thoughts. Create healthier habits, such as nutritious eating, regular exercise, and relaxation. Don't let yourself go deeper down the dark alleys of fear, worry, and self-doubt. Your life force vibrates with your daily energy, and you do have the power to determine the direction it takes. Choose a path of bright thoughts and healthy choices and leave the dark alleys, both real and imagined, behind. Finally, the awesome card in the future position is Present Power. A man stands on a pedestal holding a chain in each hand. The chain in his left hand, representing the past, holds a powerful lion. The chain in his right, representing the future, holds a tiger. The beasts are quiet and the man is in control. Thoughts about the past and worries about the future can neither run away with him nor consume him. This card is letting you know that you have significant power now and that there is some present issue that will benefit greatly from your attention. If it's a matter to be resolved, a project to be finished, or a decision to be made, now is the time to prioritize it. You are in a position of strength, so keep your thoughts focused on the issue at hand and be ready to take action. Joyous opportunities are opening up for you at this time. You're now capable of taming the rampant, fragmented energy in your life by staying strong in the current moment. The past is over, and the future will bring beautiful blessings as long as you continue to be conscious of your power in the present. Stay present, stay focused, lean into joy, lean into the frequency of who you really are, which is love, pure divine love, not cheesy love. And we'll get through it. Again, I know this is kind of cliche, but seriously, remember that it's happening for you, not to you. If you can stay in that perspective, it's going to make it that much easier to get through the challenging, hard things that might be coming up in your life right now, including failing things. You can come away with your lessons, with your growth, without feeling like a failure, because you're not. If you would like some help getting through the rest of this retrograde, you can join me inside my Glow Mind, Body, and Soul membership for only $33 a month. This month, our focus is getting through the Mercury Retrograde. So we meet once a month for a group Reiki session, once a month for a live meditation, and I keep teasing that I'm going to be adding in fitness videos, maybe some sound healing, some extras like that, and I believe now that the weather's getting nice, I can film some of these things outside. They're finally coming. And if you're watching this before the 22nd, you haven't missed either of the live sessions inside the membership yet. If you do join after the fact, there's always recordings. In fact, when you join, you'll immediately have access to all of our previous recordings going back to last year in June. So you can find that link in the show description, in the show notes. If you have any questions, please reach out. If you enjoyed this episode, if anything in it resonated with you, please make sure that you share it. Leave a thumbs up, a 5-star rating, a positive review. If you share it to your Instagram, make sure you tag me at I am Carrie Jokala. All the links for all of that are below. I haven't put this out there in a while, but I do have an offering for a Mercury Retrograde spread. So if that's something you're interested in, you can check out that link. And it'll tell you everything that's in the spread and what each placement means. If you'd like to work with me for a one-on-one Reiki session, an Akashic Record session, a card reading, if you would like to learn Reiki, that is all available by going to my website, carriejokala.com, and stay tuned for more episodes. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you next time.